sit behind there. I've got bags of, I do homeless runs all the time.
Right.
And look, I've been homeless. When you've been homeless, and I don't want nothing from me. I've had money, but when when I went to the southern area and the gym was doing well, I had loads of money in the bank. But guess what? That helped me. I wanted to end it, mate.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? Diagnosed with bipolar, got on the right medication, the mood's better. Then the ADHD thing come along. And I don't want, people go, oh, you're putting names on things and that. But these conditions are real. Do you know what I mean? And finally, I'm just started, a couple of days ago, the ADHD. So hopefully that will stop the overload of blah, 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 interrupting people, being rude, thinking about other things, emotional, crying, getting angry and upset and, sorting out moods and stuff.
I got that. And now sitting here, like, you're obviously in shape and stuff, and you talk about fighting professionally again as you approach 50, really, right? Like, we're on that road. Hey, I can count, bro. Don't worry about that.
But like I said, there's a difference.
Yeah.
No one's been where I've been. No one's got the heart, will, and desire. I was training since I was 4. The running and everything, and they haven't got that grit, determination. I'm not normal. What I've done is not normal. I'm not a normal 46-year-old and don't forget, if say you said Sherry Mosley comes back, some people have 400 amateur fights, 300 amateur fights, hard pro fights, 30, then they come back. I've had 14 fights, 2 white collar.
Yeah, right.
Mate.
The miles ain't there, you ain't got the damage,
right? So I'm completely different, and I'm not delusional, mate. I'm not going, I can do it and think, and just because I've got to do it for any reason, no money in here, but for any reason, do you know what I mean? But this is what's different. As I've done so much training, what I can't see, what I can see outside the ring, I can see inside the ring now. So I can see it as a trainer's point of view and a fighter's point of view now. Yeah. So that gives me an extra...
But also, I think when you've not got a fight coming up, and speaking from my own experience, that's the time where you do really get better because you're training for training's sake, right?
Yeah,
to get better.
that's
Versus,
right.
like, we all know that feeling where you've got a bout coming, whether it's 3 weeks, 6 weeks, next day, whatever, short notice, where it's like impending doom all the time.
That's
and
right.
all the time it's like fucking stress. And I've got to do, and then this is going to happen, that's going to happen, this is going to happen. Where, like, when you're just training and there's nothing on the calendar, you're just training, right?
It's not enough for me.
Right.
It's not enough for me, man. I think I'm going to really struggle. The only thing, they say money, another quote, they say money doesn't make you happy. It does if you give it to the homeless and the misfortunate. So, I'm still struggling to find me.
Well, I've got an idea for you when your fighting career's done.
Sorry?
I've got an idea for you when the boxing's done.
Yeah.
We can get you into some grappling, man, because there's
I would love that.
Masters divisions. You can go till the wheels fall off. There's old men hunched over doing competitions.
I would really love that,
so
because that's something... and we can share it. We can bless each other with that if you like.
There you go. It's on camera.
Yeah.
Hey.
No. B. But no, that's 100%.
Yeah.
That's something I've actually wanted to learn as well, because I've been national judo plus boxing plus
Jiu
being a
Jitsu,
nutter.
wrestling,
right.
goes on.
Yeah, I would love to learn a bit of that. I'm
Brilliant.
not being funny. I've never, not street fighting or anything, but you never know where you might need to defend someone or just get them in a hold and just,
100%.
You know what's just going crazy out there right now.
Absolutely. Well, so I tell you, we won't mention the name. I mentioned it to you beforehand, but someone, because they might not want it, right? Like it's early days.
Of
but
course.
someone came to me recently who was very famous, and exactly that. They had sort of a striking background, and they're sort of getting up there in age a bit, and they said exactly that. Like, I want to be in a situation where just in case, blah blah blah, and that's sort of led us on to that's where we're going to start training.
Because you don't want to, because someone ran over my foot at the zebra crossing. So a normal day I would have laughed, but I'm going for a lot of crowd. I went, oh, you can't
run over your foot and what? A bike?
On a little pedal bike thing.
Yeah,
but I was on a zebra crossing, so obviously I had bloody foot. Oh, he come at me. I was like, mate, just don't dare.
Don't do it.
I whacked into the body a few times. I had to. But then I was like, if I hit you to the head, he dies, because we're carrot crunchers, we knock out cows from Devon, right? You're going to die. I'm in prison 7 years for manslaughter, all over, running over my foot. But at the end of the day, you come at me. I don't want to hug, mate. Do you know, I don't want to, but that's where we're talking about the grappling and all that kind of thing coming in.
Yeah,
so
100%, because because that is as effective as boxing is, and I think a lot of people nowadays want to say, "Oh, grappler beats a boxer." Listen, it ain't that clear cut for starters. As someone who's grappled for over a decade, it ain't that clear cut. There's elements of listen, boxing in terms of a street fight, throwing that one punch, one hit a quitter, that might be the best option. But at the same time,
running.
Okay, yeah,
Mate,
all right,
not getting involved.
No, yeah, true.
Right, you know, you got hold of me, I'm dead. But we don't want that, do we?
We don't want that. That's the issue. Men you can't run, can you? You can't in the moment. In sitting here now, me and you calm, we can go, run. But when
yeah,
are we going to run?
And also there's a bit of ego, and there's a bit of like, if you're defending a loved one or whatever. So, I'll say it on camera, MMA, they'd smash up boxers as you get older, but you got to get hold of us. But it's not all about that.
No.
It's not all about that.
But my point was, listen, if you were in that situation as a boxer, you've got to smack someone and then it's damage and it's a real issue.
Hence me hitting.
You don't need that, right?
Hence hitting into the body.
Yeah.
Hence me wanting to do what you just said, and maybe that's why you're here.
Yeah, well, maybe that's why someone's put me here. I don't know. Depends what you believe in.
Well, another quote: some people in your life for a reason, some for a season, but I'm here to benefit you.
Bam.
Hey,
you need to calm down over this.
Mate, I'm going to give you one of my books later.
Brilliant, yes, absolutely. But like with training and stuff now, you said you still spar now, I take it, obviously.
Yeah, not as much.
Right.
Not as much, not as much.
But you don't get hit in fights, so I'm assuming sparring is like, that's just what you do.
Issue is now I'm not heavier, but I know how it's done now.
Right.
Even as a pro, I didn't know how it was done.
Okay.
So I'm more on the button, and I'm putting good guys down in sparring.
That's interesting.
Good guys, good fighters, heavier than me. You know, so I'm sitting once again, and they're all about the reactions, and I'm not delusional, and I keep saying it, like I'm not a normal. I'm not a normal 46-year-old, that's been battered and all that. I'm not normal anyway.
Yeah.
You know,
because listen, we all know fighters as well, and we definitely won't mention names, but like we know fighters that, well, I was going to say your age, not even your age, younger than you, that you knew them when they was younger and sharp and spoke, and now you see to them and you listen to them speak, and you go,
Robin Deacon. Robin Deacon. Well, I don't want to, it's not really fair to mention too many names, but a load of them.
Yeah.
Look at me. You won't shut me up, will you?
That's it. But like a lot of guys, you sit there and and you go, "Fuck, man! I knew you 10 years ago when you weren't like that," you know, and it makes you go, "Ee."
And this is the blessing of having 2 white collar fights, 11 fights.
Yeah, right.
I'm fresh, but I've got a walking stick because I'm so old. But mate, if you saw me sparring, but if you didn't know my age and you knew nothing about me and you saw me in there, that wouldn't even cross your mind.
No, it wouldn't. No, definitely not.
Right?
No, you're right.
So this age thing. Like, I started puberty at fucking 20. Do you know, like I said, one hair on the chest. Like, come on. Like, who makes up age? Who made up time? Who made up bloody anything?
Yeah, and I think if you stop is when people start to get old, right? If you keep going, to me, age is like, is it really? And the reason I say that is like, when that camera comes on, I'm 25, right? But in reality, I'm in my mid-30s, right? So, like, I've got friends that are my age that are saying, like, oh, I don't recover like I used to. And all. Like, to me, I can honestly say, and this is not patting myself on the back in any way, but it's like, I don't feel that yet. I don't, do you know what I mean? I feel like I've always felt I'm stronger than I ever was because I'm that bit older.
You look great. Yeah. No gay shit.
He said that. He said that. No homo. Yeah.
No homo.
But
you can say that.
Right. But do you know what I'm saying? It's like, I feel like it's when you stop. Now, I'm only at an age where age shouldn't really be relevant yet anyway. But
you would know yourself.
Right. Okay. And I think a lot of people, like, they sort of get past 30 and start to go, past 30 now. Do you know what I mean? And I think, I'll give you an example because his photos on the wall. I did a workshop with Nigel Benn a few months ago, right? Yeah. Now, Nigel Benn, I think he said he was about to turn 62 within a month of that.
He was going to fight again, wasn't he?
He was going to fight again, right, exactly. But he was like, he said he was 62 or coming up to 62, blah, blah, blah. If you didn't know he was, you'd look at him, and if he said to you he's 40, you wouldn't bat an eyelid, right? Fit, strong, he took
looking good.
By the way, when you're hitting the pads with him, you know what it's like sometimes when you've hit pads, I'm sure you have, with people that are a bit older, and you're almost a little bit like, I'm a bit worried about hitting that. You're not that you're hitting them.
He's a bit, I would say, scrappy as well. He's a bit like aggressive, and it's hard to get the timing right.
Beast of a man.
Do you think it's hard to get the timing right with him, right?
Well, no, the reason I say it with him is because, like, if someone's holding pads for you, sometimes, you know, when you're a bit like, I feel like I might hurt their shoulder at that age.
Yeah,
but like Nigel
yeah.
Ben, none of that. Like
Right.
you're hitting the pads, it was like hitting the wall. You went, all right. And then like he's hitting Frads, but you know when someone's holding the pads and they're hitting them back and you're blocking. I better block that one because that one will hurt if it hits. You know? But point being, like he hasn't stopped, does he? Do you know what I mean? And
he looks fit all the time, doesn't he?
And
Trains
he's a
all
monster.
the time.
Like he's still, like to your point, he looks like he could still fight.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
Like
right.
I mean, you don't want to encourage a 60-something-year-old to get punched in the head, but
unless
he looks
it's
like
with
he
Jake
could.
Paul when you take a dive.
Oh,
I don't
dear.
know.
Shots thrown.
I should have said that.
He might be in a ring with Usyk soon by the sound of it.
Don't.
But listen, here's my thing. I was of that opinion of like, fuck's sake. But the more it's going on,
things have changed now, man.
the more it's going on, I'm going like on the positive, like the balls that takes for him to do that. Think about it, right?
I'm all for it.
Do you know what I mean?
I'm
You are. Yeah.
Listen, listen. He's a YouTuber, whatever.
Yeah.
Listen, I've been there. I know what it's like to face. I was on Ricky on TV. All my mates from Devon, 250 tickets. I know what it's like to have a debut, and him was on a huge stage. That takes big bollocks, mate. Massive bollocks. And I don't care what you're doing with your life, respectfully. I'm worrying about what I'm doing and what I'm getting paid.
Yeah, exactly.
Do what you got to do, but like, I don't care. Just go for it, mate. Go for it. There's more problems. There was more problems in boxing than fucking Jake Paul.
Yeah, oh, mate,
do you know what I mean?
100%.
So just good luck to you.
Yeah.
Good luck to anyone.
Yeah, anyway, listen, I don't think people that haven't stepped in there realise how tough it is to step in there, right? Because how many people that haven't boxed go in this and in that? It's like, how many you had? How many times you've been in there? You'd never get in there. You'd never do that.
This is another one I say, he's a quitter. Well, mate, you quit by default by not getting in.
You've never been in there. So
by
definition, you're a quitter. There you go. I'm with you. I'm 100% with you. But you've never done it, so would you know? Your opinion's voiced.
Right. There's this quote by Theodore Roosevelt where it's like the man in the arena.
My favourite quote. I post it regular.
It's not about the critic.
Not the critic who counts,
Yeah, we're on the same shit, aren't we?
100%. Yeah, I love that quote. I post it regular. Anyone that follows my page is probably going, here he goes. He's going to get that quote again.
Keep shouting it from the hilltops.
I believe in that massively because, like to your point, like when you said earlier about Robin Deakin, when he's got 30 losses on his record at the time or whatever. Listen, he's above someone who's never stepped in there, right? Because he stepped in there. I don't care. To me, if you've tried, you've won. To me, And I'm not giving someone a participation trophy, by the way, because winning is important. But
of course.
if you get in there and try to win, and I mean properly try and win, not just like, I got in there, tried. I mean properly tried to win.
But also there's politics involved. Like he did it. He started doing it for a bit of money and he wasn't guided a certain way. So it's not as it seems.
No, and also it's like exactly like if you're a prospect, they're not having the tougher fights early, are they? So their record could easily be 0-10 one way or 10-0 the other way, just because of like how they're perceived before.
And managers use. Managers use.
Of course they do.
They think, oh well, he's like me. He's old. He's not going to get very far.
Yeah.
That didn't work out too well, did it,
mate?
And like Robin, they'd use Robin because he's had about, he'd have 10, 12 losses. Oh, we'll just keep using him as a journeyman. He gets paid $1,000.
It's a day job, isn't it, for him?
Yeah,
exactly.
But it wasn't at the beginning, but it turned out that way.
Exactly.
And, tough conkers getting in there against it. Maybe too stupid for his, not talking about Robin, but some people are too silly for their own good. Like even Christian Lake was a tough fight for me. Like it was awkward. And to be honest, if I'm completely honest with you, that was, the journey, I said about the journeyman wanted to get a win or they lose their license. Paul Haynes, I had a battle with and he was heavier than me and we, he come in late and I didn't see his weight. So I think
that old chestnut.
I better not say too much on this, but I was hitting him and he weren't going back, and I was thinking, hang on a minute, but I got a draw, and it was like people were going, oh, he had 9 losses, you got a draw, and laughing. I'm like, you don't understand. It was a 4-round fight. He won 2, I won 2. Yeah. He come to win, and he's had. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you what I said once, years and years ago, to some buffoon that worked in a gym, never fought a day in his life, but thought he was a tough guy, and he always used to criticise fighters' records like that. And there was a Muay Thai fighter who'd, I believe, I might be a bit wrong, he'd had 30 fights, and I think he'd won something like 12, and he'd lost 18. And he was going, well, that's not very good. And I was like, mate, listen, stop. If you'd have fought them 30 guys, you'd have no wins and 30
there
losses.
You go.
Do you know what I mean?
There
He wasn't computing. No,
there you go.
Like, mate,
there you
shut
go.
up, you buffoon.
Yeah. Do you know what? I try not to get involved in that. It's very hard.
It is,
but
I was 21 or something at the time. So
Sorry?
I was about 21 at the time.
Yeah,
so
no, but
I was involved.
But even now, it's hard
It is,
when
yeah.
you see online, and you just. I try not to comment because I'm just thinking, mate, you don't understand.
No, you don't understand.
Like how you're sitting on your sofa, fat girl. Look at that. Look at what. Get up. What's the matter with him?
Yeah.
You haven't been on. Look, there. Solar plexus. Right. Liver. Right. Liver. For 3 pounds of pressure on the chip. What's the difference between that, and that? We've all got the same, heavyweights, whatever. You hit them in these places, there you can kind of recover-ish. You hit there and there, mate, there's nothing to protect.
Terrible feeling as
right.
well.
Oh, you're out.
You can't describe that feeling, can you?
Oh,
Someone who hasn't
mate.
had it, right?
Luke Campbell, not long in the gym. Because obviously I was doing all my stuff. I did 2 hours of training. I'd spar this kid. Oh, no problem. Doing all my shit. Southpaw, boom. Solar plexus. Never been down in my life. Only in the gym 6 months. Who the hell was that? Oh, he's just won the European amateur champion. Then he obviously goes on to win a...
Olympic gold.
Yeah. Do you know what I mean? I said, well, cheers, I've only been into the gym 6 months.
Yeah. And another freakish body as well, by the way. How tall's he? He's got to be close to 6
skinny
foot. But he fought like lightweight as well.
The hand speed was crazy.
I bet. I met him once years ago in Farringdon, actually. Like, not training-wise, he was just in the gym. And I just spoke.
Yeah.
But like, at the time, I was amateur boxing. I was boxing at 75 kilos. And he'd just won the gold. At Olympics at sort of... What did he win it? 57 was it, or 60? So. 57 or 60. So. Taller than me, and I was like, yo, like he's fighting people that are up to his nipples.
His legs are really skinny.
Yeah, lightweight guy.
And I'm like, whoa, with the speed. And
well, gave Ryan Garcia all he could handle, didn't he? Like nearly got him. Nearly got him.
Yeah, I think he could have. It was a short
I think he was in the amateurs too long. I think he stayed too long.
That's what I'm saying.
Classic
this is
example.
I keep saying too many.
And that's without knowing any details. But like he was in the another one is Big Fraser Clark. Like he did because he was behind Joshua and then behind my old club mate. Shout out Joe Joyce. Like he's in the amateurs a long time, isn't he? And not that that's negative necessarily, but I think. From a mental point of view, you can go stale, can't you? Do you know what I mean?
Can.
You know what I mean?
Too much in the tank. Too many hits. Too many. So when you get to your pros, like I said about the car, the 100,000 miles on the clock,
you've got
you're not the 20,000 miles on the clock like me. You're burnt out.
Yeah, you've had your career before you've had your career, haven't you?
You're burnt out. Yeah.
I guess the other side of that though is someone like Usyk, who had 350 amateur bouts.
Mate,
but he's got a short professional career because he's rose quick, right?
But also he's found a way of his technically doesn't get hit a lot, and he's found. Do you know what? Another thing that annoys me, right? I've got to get this out. Why are they trying to outboxing him? You can't outbox him. I'm not a dirty fighter, right? Yeah. Right? Lift the elbow up, do one of them.
Yep, absolutely. Put your head in.
Rub his head. Yeah. Mike Tyson, right? Bit of Andy Holyfield's ear twice, got away with it once.
Yeah.
Rough him up.
100%. Yeah.
Spit at him, mate. Just why are you trying to outbox the man?
Yeah. But here's my thing. I thought that too, and I was lucky enough to be there at the Usyk Dubois fight recently, right?
Lovely. Prick.
Yeah. Not because of that. I'm a prick anyway.
No, I love it.
But being there, like I was saying to my mate who I was with again, Kieran, I've given back 25 shout-outs tonight. But we was watching the fight together, right? Sitting there, and like I said to him. One of the things, I wonder, does he hit a lot harder than people think he does? Because he doesn't look like he does necessarily, but there's certain moments where he stung Dubois and Dubois backed off. And now Dubois, if you've ever seen him in person, is a fucking mountain of a man, right? Now Usyk's a big man too, and that's another point as well. People say about the size, which we'll come to in a minute, but like he's, at a certain point you're big enough. I think if you're hitting someone on the chin at 6'3", whatever he is, and 200, what is he, 27 pounds? I think he weighed in for that fight. How big do you need to be? Do you know what I mean? To deter someone. But up close, I think I said this on a podcast before. I'm not 100%, but I'm pretty sure I was there when he boxed Joe Joyce years ago. Do you remember World Boxing Series thing? He boxed Joe Joyce because I was Ellsfield Boxing Club. Joe Joyce was from Ellsfield. Blah blah blah. But I can't remember whether I was actually there or saw it after. And I'm confusing it. Whatever, it doesn't matter. But essentially, that's the first time I've seen him box up close, and it was like. Class, do you know what I mean? Like them things he's doing, and it's like
the little feints, the little tricks.
Class, the man's class.
Like it's a game of chess.
Yeah.
There's no difference. Right. I've got other things on the wall, but I play a lot of chess. I'm a very good level of chess. There's no difference between chess and boxing. You know, you see things from your opponent point of view, from the other side of the chessboard. You set traps.
Right.
You sacrifice. You burn 6,000 calories in a high chess game.
It's mental, isn't
There's
it?
so many similarities between chess and boxing, and that's why people go, oh, they're beating each other. But all these little
Tough ain't enough in this game, is it? Tough ain't enough.
Skills,
Tough's a baseline.
They say skills
They do
pay the bills,
yeah,
like
exactly.
Floyd.
Of course, yeah, exactly, and there you go. But like, and not criticising any other fighters in that card because they was high level and there was world champions on that card too. But when Usyk stepped in there was a clear gulf between him and every single other person on that card. And like, you know, it wasn't even close, right? Let's be fair, it was not a fight in terms of back and forth.
He's got to be
one-sided.
He's got to be one of the best. He has to be one of the best fighters that ever lived.
I believe he's in the conversation.
He's up there.
He's in the conversation.
He's up there.
Top handful, isn't he?
So come on, to do what he's done from cruiserweight to and what he's doing now.
Well, here's the thing too. Like, and everyone wants to say who's the greatest of all time and stuff like this.
I can't go down that road.
It's tough, but we're going to go down it right. Too late. But it's
we're there.
But here's parameters of it, like, because how I look at it, like, great. You can define great however you like, right? You can say Muhammad Ali was the greatest for this. Rocky Marciano was undefeated. You can only be great for your time. On and on and on. My thing when I say greatest of all time, it's probably a better way to say it would be the best of all time. In terms of if you picked him up in a time machine and dropped him against anyone else at their peak, who comes out on top? That's how I'd look at it. And if by that, Usyk's in the conversation.
Definitely.
There's not many you can convincingly, with 100% certainty, go, oh, he'd beat him.
Definitely.
Do you know what I mean?
I don't want to go off subject a little bit, but I like to think about who's greatest outside the ring as well.
Part of it, yeah.
What you do,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Ali, he wasn't so great inside the ring. It's what you do outside the ring.
That's what elevates him to
That's
me.
what. Yeah, it's the what you do. I don't go back onto myself, but what you do outside. Now, I'm going to quickly go back to me, but what I'm doing now is getting the kids off the streets with a knife crime.
And it's more important than that, isn't it?
But you've got that platform to do that. And what did Muhammad Ali do? He changed, remember the sign? No, he won Olympic gold. No dogs, no Irish, no blacks. You know, like he changed everything.
Yeah.
And he was loved. But it's not only what you do inside the ring to me; it's what you do outside.
Yeah.
With that as well.
Yeah. I agree massively. And like when you go through sort of, as we say, you can only be great for your time as well, right? So like Ali's sort of time period was probably the modernisation of it as well, right? In terms of different things people
went
was
on
doing.
too far as well. Too
Far
long.
too long. Have you ever seen a documentary, Larry and Muhammad, or Muhammad and Larry, one of the two? It's a documentary in the build-up to Muhammad Ali about to fight Larry Holmes. And it's like, it's how anyone ever let him get in the ring. He's clearly got Parker. They're interviewing him, and I'm not exaggerating, and I'm going to dance. And it's like, yo, this man should not be fucking fighting.
Is that when Mike Tyson said, I'll get him for you, champ?
That was when Muhammad Ali got in the ring, I think, to him versus Trevor Berbick.
Because
Muhammad Ali's last ever bout was Trevor Berbick.
Right.
Terrible. If you've ever seen it, it's a 10-round beatdown.
Yeah.
And he gets it, and Tyson obviously had different ideas.
I know. Yeah.
Which is my pick for the best of all time when we're talking about that.
What was your favourite of all time?
Mike Tyson.
Right.
100%. I think in his prime, we're talking about, I think it'd be very difficult to beat.
Mike Tyson thinks it's Ali. In my opinion, Muhammad Ali's the greatest, but Mike Tyson would use the word kill.
Smash it to people.
Smash everyone.
I think so.
Everyone.
Yeah,
everyone.
I'm of that opinion.
Everyone. He's too strong. The roll underneath, the power, freakish power.
Yeah. And also, people say about he's short. That if you know how to use that, that's an advantage, right? Like in reality, to be 5'10" heavyweight with that power.
Underneath, getting underneath and rolling up.
And he made himself shorter, which is even more important, right?
And then as you roll up, you come up with the shots, and the shots you don't see, right?
That's it. I believe so. Yes, you're on board. Because a lot of people like to be tricky and go, well, what about it? It's like, shut up.
No.
Shut up.
Because we know our stuff,
there you
right?
go. That's what stuff. Hey, I've been saying it for years. No one believes me. But there's like, with other great, here's an example, like, because someone who was really a great fighter was Lennox Lewis, right? But Lennox
100%.
Lewis, Mike Tyson, and I'll get some stick for this, but we'll go through it. Lennox Lewis, Mike Tyson, and Evander Holyfield, they all fought each other.
Evander was great.
Evander was great. Now, Lennox beat them both. Evander beat Mike, and Mike didn't beat either of them. But I am a big believer that that's a timing thing. If you put like the late 80s Mike Tyson, I think he'd have beat both of them.
Don't forget the prison.
And I also think Evander would have beat Lennox in his prime too.
Evander was beautiful.
Great fighter, you know?
Yeah, we could, like you said, we could go on about it forever.
Yeah.
But I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. I think I don't. Lennox and Evander, all these are great fighters. Different time. You catch someone at a different time. Mike Tyson for me would have just killed everyone.
I believe so. I really think so. In his prime, that period. But
Yeah.
here's another fighter that I think history will never remember him for being as great as I think he was. Is Deontay Wilder, because in his prime, he's not a boxer. But listen, at one point in time,
he's a banger.
At one point in time, he was 40-0 with 39 knockouts. The only guy he didn't knock out, he rematched and knocked out in a round. Right? So he's essentially. He's not.
And he knocked Tyson down a load of times. So
there you go.
Tyson Fury.
I mean, and if that was anyone else, he would have knocked him out, right? That was to get up from that was
freakish power.
Right.
I don't even know where power. Normally, power, I believe, comes from the legs and.
But it can't do because
it can't do.
He's got legs like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But it was the arms and maybe some people are just born.
It is a
Genetics.
gift, and for him, especially to that level. It's a gift. He was born with that, right?
Yeah,
I think everyone would agree he's born with it. And they say as well, when he got in the ring with Tyson Fury, he weighed in, I think, at 212 for the second fight.
Yeah.
But he actually weighed 209. Or first fight, sorry, they fought 3 times.
Imagine all this stuff.
I'm just fucking boring, mate. I don't go
out. No, it's not boring.
I don't go out. No,
it's not boring to me. It's just I can't think back at that.
Right, but it's like apparently he got in the ring and actually lost weight and he was 209. So tiny against Tyson Fury, who's a massive heavyweight. But the reason I brought him up was because of the Usyk thing, right? As great as Usyk is, and this one, people will definitely go, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Anyway, I believe in his prime, Wilder, I think he might have beat Usyk because I think he could have landed that shot.
But also the distance.
Right.
Because all the long arms, the peppering, keep him at bay. To keep him at bay. I'm with you, Matt.
But
you know what? I'm not agreeing with you because you could grapple me. But no, I'm with you on that and on all aspects of what you're saying.
I'll tell you why. Because I think before Wilder got beat by Fury them 2 times, he understood clearly what he was. And he's another one of them that you have to put him asleep to get him out of there. Like if you look at especially the third Tyson Fury fight, like he had to be shut out to stop, right? He was getting a beating and stuck in there. But he knew what he was in terms of, I don't care if you outbox me, I'm going to land that. Do you know what I mean? Whereas I feel like after that, he got a bit trying to be
gun-shy?
Gun-shy maybe, but I think it was more like he got trying to be too much slick box. You see him on the pads doing 1, 2, 3 moves. That don't serve you because all you're doing now is putting yourself behind people that are better than you at that.
Yeah.
Whereas if you can land that one, and that's why I think he could have beat Usyk.
I'm with you.
Yeah.
I'm with you. 100% with you. We agree on quite a lot, don't we?
We should fuck start a podcast.
Start a podcast together.
But like, he's one now that I'd like to see stop. Did you see his last fight? He won, but it's not the same guy, is it?
No,
and like, I'm such a massive fan of Wilder, and I find it like Roy Jones, another example.
I love him.
Talk about somebody who went on far too long. Do you know what I mean? Like, literally 20 years past his prime.
When I spoke to him like a few months ago, like 6 months ago, I said he took me on the pads and that, and I was like, what made you? Like he said he would still be going now, and I said, what? His knees are gone. His knees. Yeah. Sometimes you've got to save yourself. Sometimes you need to be saved from yourself.
But Roy Jones is an interesting one as well because like there's obviously a lot of fighters that come back later than they should for money and stuff. Like I don't know, and I'm not being personal. He doesn't seem like that. He seems like he just carried on because he wanted to.
Yeah, because it's great.
He just loved to do
it.
Just
in the limelight and just. Everyone needs a definiteness of purpose. Yeah. And once you lose that purpose, like a doctor, you can retire at 65.
Right.
As a boxer, not me, 35, 30.
Especially historically, 32 was gold, wasn't it?
Right, back then,
yeah.
A bit different now, but you have to reinvent yourself and don't forget you've reached them highs. This is why a lot of people go to the cocaine and because it gives you that endorphins and it gives you that feeling and that high of, I'm not saying myself, but you well-known Ricky Hatton and Tyson Fury and because you want that. I presume you want that feeling of that euphoria that you can't get anywhere. And I'm not being funny. You go Tesco's. Every little helps. Wherever you shop. Sorry about that. If you go Tesco's, you don't get that feeling walking down there. You want that feeling, and the training isn't enough. So that's why you need to find that, reinvent yourself. But it's so hard.
Well, Ricky Hatton spoke about that too, and he said like after he lost, he thought people were sort of laughing at him and talking about him behind his back, which is like. From the outside, it's so ridiculous because of how well liked he, I was going to say was, still is, right? But and he's going to fight again. We'll talk about that in a sec. But it's like, I think there's so much, it's hard, isn't it, to get inside that head because to be that famous alone, forget fighting, it is a job in itself, isn't it? Like, take away that you're now a fighter, which is like the pinnacle of sport. I don't care what anyone says. Listen, it's more important than any other sport. Simple as that. You know what I mean? It's more impressive.
Even to my height of I'm not disrespecting myself of Southern area stroke English. Even to that height, it's still a height to my height.
Yeah, of course,
and so whatever height that is, and you imagine the height of their heights.
Mate, you can take that to any level, because think about this, like anyone that's ever boxed once as an amateur or as a white collar or as anything, I guarantee you when you've been out with your mates are, this and it's like no level of nothing, right? But do you see what I mean? Even that makes people do it. So then you step up like your level, Southern area title, and people are like, and then you go another, and then you get to someone like Ricky Hatton or even Mike Tyson. Imagine what that's like.
But the higher the bigger the drop.
Of course, exactly. That's what I was getting. You said it better than me, but it's like, do you know what I mean? Like when you go from that to then it's Monday morning and you're sitting indoors because you're rich and you can't do nothing.
And then you got all that money.
That's it.
And you just feel you feel inadequate. You just feel like you said, everyone's taking the piss out of you.
And you overanalyze things, don't you? Sitting by yourself. Do you know what I mean? It's one of them minutes. So
that's when you go
on. Sorry, yeah.
No, that's when you got to drink and the drugs and that to try and find that bit of buzz again.
Yeah, but if you're someone like that, Ricky Hatton is a great example because he spoke about it. Is like you're sitting on a Monday morning. He's made all his money. He ain't got to go work, so he wakes up on a Monday. Right, he wakes up when he wants to wake up, and now he's in his living room.
Right, putting on weight.
Right.
Struggling to get up and go for that run because there's no goal.
Yeah. Well, he said he didn't want to go out because he was worried of bumping into people and then think, oh, there's Ricky Hatton, he got knocked out.
So you're stuck in your own place.
Mental.
You're like I said, just going back to me, but I can only empathise where you just want to put your head under the covers and just because that's your safe space.
Right.
That's it.
Right.
Because you don't want to go outside because of what you've just mentioned, and you become. I don't want to keep going back to me, but I can only empathise where when I went in the Southern area, everyone wanted a bit of me. Everyone I wanted here. I was on this fucking. I was on all these different areas, podcast stations, fucking. Friends were kind of wanted me for money, this, that, and the other, and then I found myself. It was when they were the best time was actually the darkest times. The highest heights, that's when the devil comes, they say, isn't it? Yeah. So I was like, right, cut myself off in the bed. That was my protection. I don't want to go on. I didn't want to go on by myself, but I can empathise. Of Ricky Hatton and all the
because some come out of it the other way, don't they? Like Lennox Lewis, who I mentioned earlier, like great fighter, made it all, but he retired at the top, didn't he?
So cool with it, as well, like steady with his.
Yeah, it's interesting because he came out of it at the top, I think, right? And it was like, I believe he was about 36, 37, which is the age, right? Is the right age. You're not on the decline necessarily, but you're probably not getting better if you took all them punches. There's no one else to
fight.
Exactly. He kind of did it all, didn't he? He had the Klitschko fight, which is tough. Yeah. But I think if your motivation's gone, that's the time to go anyway. And I think his mum had a big part to play in it. She was trying to convince him.
That's right.
And I think when you've achieved it and you've left, he wasn't undefeated, but he beat everyone he ever fought.
Well, he did, he beat
everyone he ever fought. Close to one. I mean,
close to undefeated.
Splitting hairs, isn't you? Right? And he beat everyone, like we said. And it's like, I think that Monday morning after, if you like, is a little bit more kind of. I've done it. Do you know what I mean?
Whereas there's nothing more to achieve.
Completed it, sort of. Innit?
Even you sick now. Mm-hmm. You could just go. You don't need to do.
No.
You don't need to do what you like. I don't want. I can't. I'm not in a position to tell a man what to do.
No.
Or what not to do. But it's a dangerous sport, and you're one fight away, one punch away from getting really seriously hurt. I think it's the most dangerous sport. I really do.
Of course it is. Of course it is. More than any other combat, because there's more punches to the head, more relevant.
So if I tapped on your head like this, keep tap 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 tap. If I kept going with that, you're going to cause a damage. But with you guys, if you got the little mitch, you get knocked out once. That's it. That in what I've read and done my research and heard that knockout is not as bad as the constant tapping. Is that right or wrong?
It must be. I mean, common sense would say when you first hear it, you go, I don't know. But then when you think about it, and you go, well, it makes sense, right? Because again, if you look at an MMA fighter, for example, if they get chinned or kicked in the head, it might not be any worse than a boxer necessarily, but as they've gone down, someone jumps on top, the ref, if they're in trouble, it's over.
That's right.
Whereas you've got 8 seconds to stand up.
That's right.
You okay?
Yeah, that's right.
Walk towards me. 15 seconds have gone by. You've got yourself together. Now I can thump your head again.
But also, it's only the head. Well,
Yes.
you know, I mean,
Yeah,
you've
of
got,
course. Yeah, it's all focused on that.
But mainly focused on
course
that.
it is.
But with MMA, Jiu Jitsu, it's the whole body, the kicks, the knees, and everything, right?
Exactly.
We all agree on quite a lot, don't we?
Mate, separated a birth,
we agree on a lot. Drop it like it's hot.
Well, the question at the end, which I won't come to yet, it's right at the end. If we don't agree on that one, the whole thing's gone down road, and everyone knows. Everyone knows. We'll get there at the end. It's at the end. It's saving for the end. It's very relevant. But anyway, like going back to Roy Jones as well is another one that fascinates me because Roy Jones is my pick for pound, the best
Of all ever.
Tony Bellew had a really good point, and he said that, and I couldn't agree more. He said, like, if he'd retired at the right time in terms of after the first Tarver fight, which he won, which he didn't look good because he'd come down from heavyweight, blah, blah, blah. But if he'd retired at that time, most people wouldn't argue. And I agree. I think, like, if you could only remember him as that, like, how do you argue with that?
That's right.
Look at his career.
But then he Montel Griffin.
Right.
Yep. That's another thing because he got disqualified against Montel Griffin, come back, done his thing.
Yeah.
And then after that, it went a bit.
He was beating people too easy. He was like a victim of his own success, wasn't he? Like he was killing people.
Mate, you just. One of my favourite fighters of all time.
Do you remember the Glenn Kelly one?
Yeah.
The hands behind the back, slip, knockout.
Of course I don't know, mate. There's not. Right, if you. One TV, you click them all on now. I should have done it.
Yeah, you should have done it. Yeah.
I play Roy Jones on repeat.
Do you?
And
yes.
look, I got back to my fucking self again and I'm going to do it.
It's all right.
All I ever did was watch Naz and Roy Jones over and over until it set into my subconscious.
Because I used to shadowbox the can't be touched. I used to put them in the airplane.
Yes! There you go.
Don't come
That's
near me.
another thing we agree on.
Don't come near me, bro. Don't come near me. I'm shadowboxing to can't be touched.
Right. And we're agreeing on too much here, aren't we?
I don't think we boxed the same though. I wasn't a hands down guy. I was the opposite of that. But hey, there you go. Exactly. But like, if you look now, you're saying like you want to box still, and obviously. At 46 now, most people would go, I'm too old for this shit.
What do you think they did at 32?
Right, too old for this shit, exactly. But I come in now, you've got that like young man's energy of like, I want to do this, I got to do this. Like, where do you see it going? Is this a comeback or is this like you want to fight one more time?
No, it's a comeback.
It's a comeback.
It's a comeback.
We're back,
it's a
baby.
Comeback, and I don't, people will see. Yeah. People will see.
And have you got sort
of?
And
do you know what I'm bringing now? What else I'm bringing? 9 months in bed with suicidal thoughts. Struggle of 3 years with no income with the gym. Yes, people dying on me. Best mate went to bed, never woke up last year. My father-in-law, 25 years, God rest his soul, died in the same 2 weeks. I'm going to cry. I'm bringing that shit in the ring with me, plus what I've been through. No man's going to defeat me. And I'm not just giving it no big un. To bring that in as well as my upbringing, like with my skills alone is enough. But with that fucking, mate, no. So what the plan is for myself personally, get a few fights. You know, I did have that one with Robin Deacon, you know, when I ate him, he was in an oxygen mask. And I know that Robin's tough, you know, and I was scared. And then after it was all right. But to show I still had it. But I want to have a few, and then I got one more shelf to fill. Get a belt. You know, look, there could be I don't give a shit what anyone thinks. WBU or what, and then walk off into the sunset. You know, and you know what? You see the empty shelf there.
I do.
And you're going to see it filled one day. You're going to see it filled one day. And on from that, I'm going to. Do you mind saying what the future is for me?
Yeah.
So on from that, like I said, I'm going to join the podcast as well. As a shout out to, I've got a good friend Bert. He's a bit like you, like, you know, we're quite, like, we got a lot going on, and he's got ADHD as well. Bert and Ben, the Chatterbox men, right?
Oh, and talk about a name.
Bert and Ben,
you might have pipped me on the name
Hey. Bert and Ben, the Chatterbox men.
Well, you've looked, the younger people are going, what's that mean?
Yeah.
The younger people don't know what the fuck you're talking
ADHD shit, don't worry about it. But we are so alike, and we're coming at an angle where it's not just boxing, it's about what the craziness of ADHD does. And 1 minute you're there, you're talking to someone that's, as you know, the mind's all scrambled. You're getting emotional over stuff. You're focusing. You know, it's a gift and a curse. But we're building this. We want to do this podcast, and it's not just solely boxing. It's just life. what we've done in our crazy moments of ADHD, what we've done in all areas of our lives and how we got to there through the alcohol and the drugs and it's going to be so different, this podcast, not just boxing, but I'm going to add a few boxing, but it's going to be all different craziness of jumping on an aeroplane and going to LA like I did and spending 20 grand on crap, right? Jumped on an aeroplane, on just impulsive, buy. It was like mania in a bipolar disorder, but mania as in an ADHD where you just don't think, you just obsessively buy. Got home, come down from the high, and I'm like, I put all my shit on Vinted now. What am I doing with all this stuff? But it's this podcast. You don't mind me shouting it out,
yeah,
but Ben, the chatterbots, man, we're going to go for it.
Good
and it's
man.
just going to be something fun, something different, and something inspiring, that people can relate to, and are going to have fun with it. Add the boxing to it, build up, get kids off the streets, try and get some more, keep doing all my, because I own London White Collar Boxing, but put on 50 fights. I don't go out of house. I only work with my own people in the gym because I quickly, the last show I put on last year before, I had one person that I needed. It was a heavyweight that come in, and I said, he was talking about, can I wear my gloves? And I said, well, I've got gloves here. I checked his gloves for experience. Guess what he had in there? Like a hash grinder.
Yeah.
But imagine a golf ball.
Yeah.
He had one of them in there. Imagine that.
Oh.
And I'm like,
Bro.
This is white collar, but if I didn't have that experience, so I only go in house, and so that's my future. And I even think white collar needs to be licensed. It's not white collar or charity. Your head's not for charity. It's unlicensed boxing.
Yeah.
It needs to be licensed because people have been dying.
They have. I had a very similar chat recently. The other day I had a podcast with Danny McLaren. I don't know if you know Danny.
Very well, very good.
Danny?
Close friends of mine.
Brilliant.
He was the one that introduced me to Sugar Ray Leonard.
Brilliant. Shout out
Danny, you sexy man.
His podcast will be the last one before yours, so it'll be Danny then you. So that's a coincidence. But we had a very similar chat.
No coincidence in that.
No coincidence in life. Yeah, it was meant to be. There you go. But
look, there's no coincidence in synchronicity. In other
we'll
words,
get a picture of that. We'll get some pictures of these. You've got quotes literally everywhere.
Mine
Yeah,
from
they're yours.
From
I
life.
can tell. Yeah,
Right,
I can tell. You gave me about 4 before we started as
Nice.
well, so I'm taking them with me. I'm going to tell people they're mine. No, I'm not really. But
plagiarise my shit. Go for it.
Right, but we had similar conversation, exactly that, about the white collar, how it's we've all been to white collar horror shows, right? Where you see a man who's warming up, slick moves, looks like a top amateur or a pro, and then gets in there with someone who's losing to shadow boxing. Do you know what I mean?
Ultra white collar boxing.
Yeah,
2 deaths. Free in intensive care.
That's interesting you said that, because I helped train someone for.
I won't do it anymore.
No, but it's interesting you say that, because not that I'm disputing you.
Because your name will be a part of it.
Right, but it's not that I'm disputing you. And when I say I helped him, and he went to the real training. He was
but
training me.
It'll come back to you.
Right, but he was. It was very well matched this night, and I actually
right.
had an opposite experience with it. So
What do you mean? He was better?
No, every single bout on the card was very well matched.
Oh, that's good.
Every single thing,
good.
every single one, and to the point where all the fights I was seeing, there was some guy, and I'm not criticising, but there was some guys on there that clearly couldn't fight to save their life, but they were well matched,
Dangerous.
right? And it was a good fight.
You're not used to getting hit.
Right.
Pros get used to getting hit.
But there was a few of these.
Yeah, of course.
But it was well matched, and no one got hurt. A few knockouts, but no one got hurt.
I had 11 bouts,
Yep.
6 draws. No one wants to draw.
No.
Just shows.
Yeah.
I'm a professional that matches up right. You're a professional that matches up right. What ultra white collar boxing does, they got personal trainers matching up, and they say it's for charity.
Yeah.
It's not for charity. They get used to set up a Just Giving page, right? And the tickets go to the charity. I don't have to do it for charity. Eddie Hearn doesn't have to do it charity. But I did 30%. 25 or 30% towards charity because I want to do that. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But when people hear charity, they think it's going to be all right.
Doesn't mean anything. No, it's not, exactly, and you're right. But the one thing that struck me on that, because before my mate went out...
Excuse the pun.
Yeah, exactly. All right. Before my mate went out to box, there was some fights that, like I said, like that. So I was like, when you go, oh, this is cool, he'll be fine. Because again, he was in his 40s, he'd never boxed before, he just wanted to do it, he's got 3 kids, blah, blah. And I was like, I was doing I was moving around with him, we was training, he was going to the real training. He really took it serious, by the way, really dedicated as much as he could, trained every day, twice a day, blah, blah. And I was, but on the night, you're going, I hope he's not in there with someone that's a bit of a fucking slickster.
Yeah, yeah.
Anyway, but the bout before his, there was two guys that were probably flyweights, very small, but they came out dropping their hands, slip, boom, like pulls in between.
you thought,
and you know when you go, fuck
shit.
me, these
Who
guys
have I
can
got?
box. Yeah, who's he got next, right? But it was fine, but it turned out fine.
But also, you can look at it one way that you don't want to be behind someone that you hurt someone either. You don't want your fighter to get hurt.
Yeah.
But imagine you and me or us as fighters hurting someone and them dying. You got to live with that shit for the rest of your life.
And that's it. And that's when you get the horror stories like you've seen back in the day of like I'm some dinosaur, but you know what I'm saying, like a few years.
I'm older than you, mate.
Yes, you are.
Be careful now.
Like, if you go
I'll
10
grapple
years
you.
ago, yeah.
I'll run.
But you know, like 10 years ago,
Yeah.
and like you'd see someone who looked like they box at a good level, and they chin someone who looks like they've never boxed before. That always rubbed me wrong. I go like, what are you getting from that? Why would you want to do that? Like, if you got in there with someone who's never boxed before and knocked them to the moon, like, are you feeling good about that?
Pathetic.
It is pathetic.
It's pathetic.
Cowardly. I think you're just you're a coward.
We agree on too
You're a
much,
coward.
mate.
What are you doing?
You're a coward.
Yeah.
You're a coward. If someone asked me to jump in, I'd play with them.
Yeah, right.
Like, I'll just have a little
Play
bit.
the game, outbox them, ping them off.
You know what I mean?
Right.
You know, we've got nothing to prove. But like going back to the guy this heavyweight, he sent me a picture of him shadowboxing. I'm like, mate, I'm not an idiot. Send me a real picture of you sparring someone. Like, I'm not stupid. But like I said, with these companies, they're getting personal trainers and they go, go on, mate, you'll be all right, you'll be all right. And that's when the danger happens.
That's it. Well, I mean, I spoke about this to Danny as well, but to repeat myself.
Danny, shout out to Danny. Sorry, Danny, his shows are good and they're well matched.
Very good,
and he knows what he's doing.
Great. Well, exactly, brilliant. So, but like, I'm repeating myself.
Still a prick. No, I love you, Dan. I love you, Dan.
He said that, Dan. I didn't say it, Dan.
I love you, Dan.
But like, I've repeated myself. But anyway, like, I got offered about a few years ago now with someone, I'll keep it vague, but someone, I used to train this person, right? And he's similar weight to me, good 6 inches shorter than me, fat coming out of everywhere you can have fat. Nice fella, never boxed before in his life. And I got offered to box him on a show. And not that I'm trying to give it the big I am, right?
You don't have to.
But like, I just looked at that and I thought, you're a fucking scumbag. Like, what are you talking about? Like, come on, bro. But they do it and they just
don't care.
They don't care.
They don't care.
They got 50 fights on the card and they just want to go through them quick.
Yeah, but you want to make some money.
That's it. But
you're selling your soul.
Exactly.
You're selling your soul.
I just go, it's dirty, innit? I don't want anything to do with it.
No. And this is,
I
I get a lot of people going to me, and I'm losing money out of this, by the way, because I could have 10 personal sessions, and they go, I'm boxing on a show, and then I tell them the story, and then I kind of persuade them, or they want to do it, and they go somewhere else. I need the money right now. I don't need it enough. Right, you can have another quote. Sorry. No, I'm not sorry.
No, not sorry.
We can lose everything in life, but we can't lose our morals, integrity, principles. We can't lose them. They're not for sale. Morals, integrity, and principles. They're not for sale. They're not for sale.
100%.
You can lose everything in your life, but you can't use your own personality and character and the morals and ethics and integrity and principles that you carry. You can lose all the material gain, but no one can take them away from you.
Couldn't agree anymore. And like, especially this day.
We're agreeing too much.
But
What's
listen,
going on?
Yeah, I know. We might have to have a fight at the end to lighten that a bit.
I'm a good runner, don't forget.
Well, you're the entertainer. You're going to cheer me. I don't want that smoke.
No.
But yeah, there is a lot of that now. And like, you see some of these shows and like people going, well, I'm going to fuck. And it's like, bro, you don't need that. You're fighting anyway. You find
it normally the people that can't fight, the ones that try and give it the big.
Well, I'll tell you one I saw on a show recently, and anyone who was there will know exactly what I'm talking about. There was two guys boxing each other, white collar show, mixed rules. There was MMA fights, kickboxing, boxing. And the two guys obviously had a bit of needle. They couldn't fight. They could not fight. They were terrible. It was a first round terrible fight. But like, even terrible fight, right? Both useless. But they, and the reason I'm saying useless is because the story I'm about to tell of the level of fucking dope these two were. But anyway, end of the first round, they stopped, refs in the way, and they both give, what? Right, hang on, best bit ain't come yet. They've took their gloves off and they're going to have a fight.
Oh.
Right? Now, where's your common sense? You've only got to go and stand over there for 45 seconds. You're going to fight anyway.
It's embarrassing.
They got kicked out in their boxing gear on the street.
It's
ridiculous, isn't it?
See, some of these, like I said, some of these YouTubers coming in and they're like a couple of them, not like the Logan Pauls and all that, but the lower ones they're still Instagram famous, but they're coming in with the wrong attitude. And there was one recently, wasn't there, that a while back that he chinned him after the bell, or he kicked him or kneed him or something.
Did he? I don't know.
Yeah,
probably.
he kneed him or kicked him, and it's just like what's it come to?
Yeah,
it's a gentleman's sport, and I think it's lost its way a little bit.
Yeah.
You know,
but I think some of these guys, like, they forget what they are. They forget they're having their third white collar. Not that I'm knocking that in any way.
No, I have to.
But
No,
you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're having your third white collar bout and you're going like, I'm going to do this, I'll call out anyone off, and it's like, do you know what you're saying?
Yeah.
Because go to an amateur club, first of all, and box with the best 15-year-old amateur that weighs 52 kilos, even though you're a grown man. Start there and then, like, see where you're at.
Do you think they actually understand?
No, they don't know what they're talking about.
Because, like quick little story, 2 seconds. Implication on the street, and like I said to you, look, I'm a pro boxer. I don't want nothing, and I know if I looked at you, I'd be like, and he was still trying to, and I'm like, are you stupid? You don't actually realise what I can do.
They've never
here.
had step two. This is step one. The argument.
This is what I'm trying to say.
They don't know step two.
They don't get that we could destroy you. This is what I'm getting. Are you stupid, or are you
just ignorant?
In denial and ignorant?
I just don't think they know. I just think their whole life, any time that they've ever been in a situation where it's like, fuck you, brother.
Yeah.
It just splits up. Do you know what I mean? I think that's what it is.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is.
But why pick on someone with ears like yours and a movement like me? No, but you know what I mean. No. Why would you even? No, but even your
what is?
But your presence, like attention goes where energy flows. Your people introduce themselves with their energy.
I'll tell you a good story briefly, and I've told this one here before. I'll repeat myself a lot, but never mind.
No, don't worry
I like
about
this one.
So it's my
when
parrot.
I was, probably 3 years ago, something like that. So I'm a grown man, right? And in sort of the years where you're a man, right? You're not a young kid, whatever. I'm sitting there driving, and the scaffold truck was backing towards me.
Fucking scaffolders.
My scaffolder, right? And I bibbed to stop him.
Nuts.
Like not I mean, just like it's coming towards me, so I bibbed it. Guys jumped out of the fucking thing, right? No, you like it. I've got to be honest. I had a twinkle in my eye after, and I'll tell you why in a minute. But like as I drove off, I thought, pride in something here. I'll tell you why.
It's hard to drive off.
Well, no, I'll tell you why. Because I didn't quite drive off. It's not that. The guy got out, and he looked like a fit sort of late 50s type guy with a vest on and a bit of muscles, tattoos. He got out, he was 70. I know he was 70 because he went, I'm fucking 70. You young cunt, I'll do you. Come in the car park, we'll have it. And this is all off of a bib, by the way. This is just boop, you're going to hit me, stop.
He would need a bib.
Looked like if you went back a few years, he could have really had a fight, but he's 70, right? And he looked, as I say, he looked young and that fit. But the reason I go, I've got to give you that, man, because I respect you're still stood on yourself. But he come over and he's give it the big one. But the young guy that got out of the car was the other side, who didn't look tough like him, sort of went, I don't know what his name was, say it was John. Come on, John, come away. And he was going, and I'm looking at him and I'm going like, I don't know what to say here. I'm looking at him, saying, and a part of me's going, I wanted to give him like one of them and go, you know what, mate?
Fair play.
You know,
fair play,
still game.
Still got it. Still got it.
But as I said, 70, still really
delusional, but
still willing.
Fair play.
Yeah,
fair play.
We're still willing.
If it was in a different circumstance where, like there was with the missus or someone tripped you, know, I'm all for that. But
exactly.
But get driving down the road, I mean,
well, you look at that as well. To be 70, like he said he was, and jumping out, fucking do. There's more problems going on in your life, right? You've got more issues. You can have this one.
I was just about to say something so derogatory then, but I won't. But yeah, someone touched you when you were young. But I'm telling you, your uncle.
Yeah. Uncle Roger was about, I got you.
The lodger.
Yeah, Uncle Roger the lodger.
But sorry. I'm
Looks
sorry.
after us on a Tuesday. Yeah.
I'm apologising for fuck all. But yeah, you get what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like there's obviously stuff going on for you to get out and behave in that manner.
Yeah, but I mean, as I say, a part of me went, you know what?
Fair play, Joe.
Fair play. Still game. I like it. He carried it through. He was willing. If I'd have jumped out, he would have definitely had it. You know what I mean? However it would have gone.
Brilliant.
But mate, listen, this has been brilliant. I really appreciate it.
Get up, man. Get up.
We're not done yet. There's a couple of questions.
Go on.
So, with the fight, the comeback, when, where, and firstly, can I be there?
I would love you to.
Definitely.
I would love
I'm
you
there,
to.
It's on camera, I'll be there.
100%. All depends where I get the license from and where, and how it's done.
I'll have a trip to Saint-Tropez if that's where we're going.
Well, mate, 100% on me. Turkey, get the teeth done.
Oh dear, watch out now.
Hairline for my bonnet.
Easy
No,
now.
I'm joking.
Easy now.
But no, I'm just getting it out there now. There's all these different there's all these different what did you call them? companies now that you
Yep.
that you can do it from. Bieber. You know the Bieber?
No.
British,
Justin Bieber.
Yeah, that's about it. Britain and Ireland Boxing Association.
Okay.
There's all different things you can get different licenses.
Luxembourg
from.
seems to be the
But
buzzword,
you
isn't
can
it?
get one from bloody Albania.
Can you?
But you know you can fight for WBUs and stuff. So all depending on where I get my license from and that kind of thing, you can still get licenses, like you said. Thingy, who's fighting Shane Mosley tonight?
Yeah.
You know, so that's the plan. Like I said, hopefully in this country would be great. If I have to go do one out there, go away and then come back.
Dubai.
Oh,
Dubai's a good one. Goodbye, Dubai.
But I just that's the plan and the movies and whatever because I fucking love it and I want to do it.
And that should always be the reason.
And it's not don't get no money anyway. And not because I'm slow. It's because I enjoy it and it's just something. I don't want to end like I did end.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? And I want to be content with what I've achieved already. People would be fucking crazy happy with. Thank you for saying that again.
Amazing.
I appreciate
that.
But
no, I don't say that lightly because listen,
No.
there are people out there that I've boxed with that have been national champions, amateurs, had 100 on amateur bouts or 80 bouts, whatever, like a mad amateur
Well, the
career.
kid that I boxed won the ABAs.
Right.
Ryan Taylor.
Boy, come
Ryan
on.
Taylor.
Nice.
He didn't hit me.
There you go.
So I knocked him out in the first round,
Right.
and he had 78 amateur fights.
I've been around people like this that I trained up close with, right? And then like they go pro and they can't win a Southern Area title.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? So for anyone who doesn't know, a Southern Area title is a fucking big deal, man.
No, you make me cry.
Big deal.
Because I didn't even know what it was at first. So
Yeah.
you fight for the Southern Area.
Right.
What's that?
Well, I'll tell you
know?
one I knew up close. I'd never trained with him. I'd trained with him, but not in a club or anything. Liam Shinkwin, do you know Liam Shinkwin?
Very well.
You know Liam
Very
Shinkwin,
well.
right? I used to work with him years ago in the gym,
He's got
right?
a brother.
That's right, Miles Shinkwin,
Yeah,
who
so-
boxed one of my club mates, actually,
He was a Southern Area, wasn't he?
I think he was English champion because my mate, I think Kurt Garvey, you know Kurt Garvey?
Yeah.
Kurt Garvey's my amateur club mate. He beat him for the English title.
And they boxed in there. They all boxed in. What was that? Eddie Hearn put it on. The
Prize fighter.
Prize fighter.
Prize
He was in
fighter.
the prize fighter too, wasn't he?
That's right. Yeah, he was. Yeah,
I don't know him.
Yeah, never heard of him.
No, I like Liam. Very nice guy.
Great. Yeah, I haven't seen. When I say I like him a lot. Last time I saw him was probably 12 years ago,
Yeah,
right? But
yeah,
like, he was
yeah,
great
you're
guy.
not the only one.
He was a brilliant guy. But he
Yeah.
was in prize fight around that time. Blah blah blah. But he that was a big thing for him, Southern Area title, because he won it. But I think his dad had fought and lost it, so it was fought for it. Sorry, and didn't win it. So it was like a big thing for him.
It's massive.
Yeah, Liam, if this finds you, mate, and I'm wrong, correct me.
But also it's Southern Area. Who wouldn't want to fight? Like I'm not Conor Ben. Why wouldn't you want to fight for a Southern Area? Why wouldn't you want to fight for a British?
Yeah, massive.
Southern Area and British. Don't worry about the rest of them.
Yeah.
Like all right, WBC, blah blah blah. Southern Area, Kirtland Lang. Like I don't even know if Nigel Benn fought for it, but this is a prestigious belt. It's
Especially historically, it
well,
was.
I didn't
right?
even realise because I went to the British the boxing awards and I got a clap and I'm like, what did I do? Because I didn't understand the greatness, the
level that it is. Yeah, it's big.
the history of it, the greatness of it.
Traditionally, back in the day, when things weren't so obviously not social media, but so media, whatever you want to call it, in the public eye, it was Southern Area title was the first rung of the ladder, right? It was Southern Area, English, British, onto intercontinentals, Europeans, whatever, onto the world title. And traditionally, that's what people did before my time, obviously, but Frank Bruno never fought for the British title. And from what I understand from speaking to people, it was quite a big thing that he didn't. He didn't go onto that route. I don't know if I'm right on that.
British title is a beautiful
belt.
In the world for
me.
Yeah,
it is a lovely belt, yeah.
You know.
I mean, the only one that I think I would probably put above it is the Ring magazine. Because it's the Rocky belt.
100%. But quickly. To get my boxing license, I'm not an idiot. I believe I'm British level, right? I boxed, you know Darren Hamilton?
Yeah, he was in the same gym with me and Limmy Shinkwin.
Me too, me too.
Where?
I was in London Bridge, John Rooney's.
Okay, no, we was at Gym Box Farringdon. I was working in there, yeah.
Is that with Spencer Fearon?
He wasn't there. He used to come in every now and then.
Right.
I say that. I believe I saw him, and I might be wrong on that, but he
we
was involved.
It's crazy.
Jesse Page was another guy who used to be. You know Jesse? Yeah.
Of course.
Jesse was who I used to do most of my training with because we was PTs in there,
and
we used to spar a lot together and train.
Yeah. But Darren Hamilton, I had to do my, I had to, to get my license, I had to spar Darren. Right. So Darren and I, not me, Darren and I, we've done loads and loads of sparring together. So I'm not. I know levels.
Because he won the British title.
He won. That's what I'm talking about.
That's when we was there. That's exactly when it was happening.
That's what I'm talking about.
Because he got a short notice.
Short notice.
And he went up to somewhere.
Up north,
Nottingham or Manchester, somewhere like that. Yeah, won it.
That's it.
Fear Fane. Did he beat Fear Fane?
Fear Fane.
Knowledge. Come on, I ain't been punching
Actually,
the
Fear
head.
Fane. I sparred him at that club wherever it is. All Stars.
All Stars. Okay.
Tough, strong, hard fucker. I saw him in Vegas. In the Mayweather, when I was in the Mayweather gym, sparring Broner. He fought Broner. But then he lost it to Curtis Woodhouse.
Yeah, and he split decision. I don't think he should. I think he won.
He won it.
I think he won it.
Great story. Respect to Curtis
Woodhouse.
Woodhouse.
That was the third defence, by the way.
He would have kept
got it and he kept it forever.
We know too much. What's going on?
Hey.
What's going on?
Something in the air tonight, huh?
Hey.
But yes, brilliant.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
We're going to do this again for sure.
Thank you so much.
We'll sit down, we'll do this again because I've had certain people on where I've had great episodes with everyone. I've literally not disliked anyone.
Was this one all right?
This one was great. But the reason I bring it up is because there's certain, every sort of, I don't know, say 10, 12 episodes, I'll sit down with someone and you go, we'll do this again for sure.
Thank you so much.
This is one of them episodes. Right. But there's a question at the end.
Go
I've
on.
said this. Anyone who's a regular, they know. Which football team do you support?
Oh. What do you think of Tottenham? Shit, no.
Oh.
No. Oh, you're a Tottenham fan. Right, hang on.
Opposite of Tottenham.
Arsenal.
Think opposite of Tottenham.
Arsenal.
No, more opposite than that.
Go on.
Chelsea, come on. They're more opposite.
So having played for Torquay, and then I was with Seth Johnson played for Leeds. I was going to get scouted for Chelsea.
Scouted for who?
Chelsea.
That'll do. Thank you very much.
No, it's all written down. It's all done. But like I said, shit happened.
Yep.
And then Manchester United, because from Devon, we didn't know anyone else. And back in the day, Cantona,
and they won everything.
Bruce, and it was more about I just like the team. Anyway, when I come up to London, my partner's family were Highbury.
It's all gone wrong. It's all
I didn't say I liked them, but I enjoyed going to Highbury and seeing Thierry Henry.
Okay.
And do you know what? I haven't really. I think it's gone a little bit too commercialised, and I've kind of stepped away from it, and I haven't got the interest that I did have. So I'm sitting. My arse is hurting because I'm sitting on the fence. But I do like a bit of Arsenal, but I've kind of. Chelsea is alright, man.
There you go, that'll do. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could have been there.
Good, there you go. You danced around that. Which football team do you support?
Torquay United, Chelsea.
I'll take Torquay. Torquay's all right.
Torquay,
Mate,
Helen
as I say, I really appreciate this. I always finish. Whoa, we're not finished. Sit down. I always finish with a fist up like this. Squeeze the neck. Boom.
Squeeze the neck. Boom.